This is the Sport Fishing Championship.
And this is it, the final day, the South Jersey Odd Sales Offshore Showdown. Welcome to SportFishingChampionship.com. We're at Cape May, New Jersey, as the boats are literally starting to fish right now, 8 o'clock Eastern on this Saturday morning. Sport Fishing Championship stop number 7 of 11. I'm Robbie Floyd with multi-time champion Peter Miller. Peter, a slow first day, then they had an off day, but day 3, also known as a competition day 2, we expect them to catch them this morning. They got an early start. Again, it's different than some of our other tournaments where they actually can't leave that sea buoy until 4:30 a.m. this morning, and then they start fishing at 8.
That's right, and the excitement is palpable. You know, early in the morning, you're getting dressed, you're getting everything ready. You're trying to remember your glasses and your sunscreen and your lures and your hook sharpeners and all your baits. You want to make sure everything is set. You want to make sure you didn't pop any breakers overnight. You want to look at everything before you step on that boat, because you're about to go 80 to 100 miles offshore looking for the elusive blue marlin, worth 350 points plus an extra 150 points if you catch the first one.
You gave them an extra 50?
I gave them an extra 50. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. It's Saturday morning.
It's early.
I slept well last night. I'm a giving guy. He's got horse value in his hand. We got the rods coming down, and they are ready to roll.
Hey, one thing you pointed out is you got to remember your sunblock. You don't even think about that. Generally, the average person wouldn't think about that at 4 o'clock in the morning as I'm ready to head out. But I mean, it could be one of those type of days. All that preparation, for the most part, was done yesterday afternoon by yesterday evening, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't put their sunblock on yesterday for today.
There you go.
But they definitely did it first thing in the morning. I put it on at 4 in the morning. I walk out of the house with the cream all over. I'm ready to go. I got the spray on the arms and the neck and the ears, and I like to start the day already having done that, because I don't like to touch the baits with any sunblock in my hands. And I remember a captain once told me, he said, Peter, if you put a bait on the hook, you touch an orange or an apple or any kind of food or sunblock, you're not going to catch your fish.
Yeah, you'll transfer it.
Exactly. So do it before you leave the house. Wash your hands and get the day started.
In the team's Left Canyon Club Resort this morning, an awesome facility at Cape May. It's a vacationer's paradise, but also a sport fishing paradise as well. We saw several catches, none of the billfish variety. We saw several tuna being caught. But, they do things differently here. Again, it's a 3-day event, a 2-day tournament as far as competition is concerned. And looking back at the years past, it was the second day when they caught those billfish, last year in particular.
Gave them a chance to find out where they were. They kind of narrowed it in after you do your research. You talk to everybody, and you bring all that into one big pot and stir it up. You come up with a plan. And these guys had the plan on day 2 last year, and hopefully this day 2, which is today, will be the same exact thing. We need to see some blue marlin or some white marlin on the board. One fish could take it all.
Again, beautiful sights early this morning, late last night, however you want to look at it, but they cannot leave that sea buoy until 4:30 a.m. Make their run, whether it be an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. Either way, they cannot have the lines in the water until 8 o'clock. Their day off the water will stop at 3:30 p.m., so about 7.5 hours of catching fish. And you see the different lures
right there.
I see a deep diver there. I see some hard plastic. One thing we will not see at this tournament is live bait fishing, which we have seen at other events. Welcome everyone inside our studios. I'm Robbie. He's Peter. And Peter, that will be different and we'll talk about that as we see. We'll see a lot of more trolling, artificial stuff instead of that pitch baits being a tuna that they've kept live all day.
That's right. Yeah, it's all about the dead bait trolling and about the birds they're going to put out, the flippy floppies. They're going to have green machines. The color in New Jersey seems to be green. It's very, you have Irish eyes fish in this tournament. That's a green color right there. But this is the predominant color out of this area. And they're going to be fishing, like Robbie said, all dead baits. Ballyhoo, they're going to have pitch baits from mackerel all the way down to small ballyhoo based on what they're looking for and how big the fish is.
Team Salty Tiger, one of our teams that's out there on the water. We've got 8 different cameramen on boats throughout our field, but taking a look at our Garmin team spotter, they're all hanging around that ledge. It's going to be very critical, and they can't go outside that 100-mile radius.
We're aboard the Salty Tiger today, a 62-foot bayless out of Cape May, New Jersey. We opted to go south today as opposed to last week we went north in search of the fish. With the participants as well as ourselves, hopefully we'll find the fish because it's been rather slow yet. What's biting and where?
Thumb forward, maybe.
Eating at a good pace. Everything's good. All right, leader. I got leader. All right, where's my dad? I am. The little one.
We even want to kill him?
Yeah, if he's legal. There's points. All right. Whoa.
Yeah, he might be.
If he's legal, there's points.
Got me 35.
And first day of fishing, a little slow for us. We did catch one tuna, just barely made the size, but we did catch a tuna. We heard some other fish being caught down the Washington Canyon. Overall, it sounded like it was a slow day, so we're going to prepare for Saturday's fishing when we get back to the dock. Hopefully we can change our luck around and catch a boatload of tuna fish or maybe some billfish. But as of right now, we did the best we could and did catch at least one fish.
Helen was able to get one on board. They decided not to bring it back, so they didn't count towards their total. Not sure why they didn't do that. A small could add up to a win here. Let's talk about Irish Eyes, the Viking that Patrick Doherty helms. We got to hear from Chris Doherty. They caught a fish about midday on day number one. They are one of our leaders. And again, nobody caught any billfish on day one, but they've got a tuna championship. I call it Tuna Palooza going on out there in the Atlantic.
That's right, and they're donating a little something there in their reel, so if they get the bite, line peels off, and that little piece, it could be money. They like to donate to the fish pots, and that could be the good luck charm for them. That might be their shtick.
Always a good sign when you get that fighting belt put on. It means they're in for the long haul, whether it be a tuna or a billfish. Either way, it looked like it was going to be a good day for Chris Doherty.
I'm telling you right now, it's a big fish, dude.
You or him?
Nice fish.
What do you need?
Sit still. Hold still, Pat.
Yep.
Who's got the gap? All right, I got one more crank. I'll be back up. Stick it, baby. Stick it, baby. Got it, baby.
Good job, Chris.
12 minutes to spare.
Good game, dude.
Reel him in. Let's get.
Good game.
Woo! Took him long enough, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Trolled all day long. Threw pretty much every lure we had on the boat at the fish. Just had no luck. A lot of life, a lot of birds, a lot of whales. Sometimes it's how it is. You don't lose faith. Just keep changing your baits, keep switching it up, doing something different. 28 minutes left to go in a day. Hook onto a nice tuna. Communication, bring him into the boat. It's a good day, man, overall. You know, it's not the day we hoped for, not the action we wanted to have, but at the end of the day, we're bringing a fish home that we can weigh in. It just goes to show you never give up. Just keep switching out and doing what you're doing, man. It's just fish. That's all there is to it. You know, we're recreational guys. None of us are paid to be here. We love it. We love this. We love fishing and everything about it. And I wouldn't change it for the world, you know. I got a great crew. My brother's the captain, Captain Pat. We always tell him we start a trip, you find a fish, we'll catch him. So it's a great day. Thanks to all my mates, and especially the captain, the owner, my father, John. Can't beat it, man. You just can't beat it. It's pure excitement, pure enjoyment, pure adrenaline. Just unbeatable. No other way around it.
It's awesome, and a family affair as well as we take a look at our Garmin team spotter. Where are they at? Another team to look for is Running Down a Dream. They're a little further up A couple different canyons to look at running down on Dream. It looks like they went more northerly route. But the way that they do things, Peter, here is different on the Atlantic than we've seen, say, at the Gulf.
Well, this is a center console, which I love to see because they can compete just like the big boats can, and these center consoles now are coming out in 58 feet, 60 footers with 7 and 8 engines on the back. But what you see on this boat, on this 43 center console, is utilization of the outriggers with 3 lines coming off each rigger, and you can see the bird chains they have in the back, the squid chains. They have absolutely everything but the kitchen sink deployed. And they have value ready, they have mackerel ready, they have everything ready in case that blue marlin shows up. But at this point, they're looking to stimulate, to elicit a strike. And they're going by a bird that's sitting in the water right there. That means they've just seen some tunas. They've seen some birds, and those birds take a break after they've eaten, and they relax. But this overhead shot gives you a good idea as to what they're doing. And when you make that turn and you put those lures and you put those teasers in that clean water, you're more apt to get a strike because the fish might come into the prop wash, but then they can see those baits clearly and come up and pounce on them. And another one just came to the screen. If you look clearly or closely, you can see close to like 7, 8 things going on behind that boat. It's pretty impressive. Those guys on that center console are doing some good work.
And that's the spread that they're dealing with, the bait after bait after bait. And Peter, what happens if you get not only one, but you could have multiples, and it could become a beehive really fast. And that's where that relationship with the team really is a factor.
That's right. That's when it becomes a ballet of events and emotions. You want to be able to clear everything. Honestly, one of the best things that could happen would be a quadruple header, because then 4 guys are on 4 rods, all the fish are moving around, and then the other guys can pull the other stuff in. A single can be a problem because then you have to clear absolutely everything all at once. So I prefer, in a perfect world, a quad. No big deal.
Yeah.
Just a quad.
I'd rather have multiples out there at the same time than just deal with one fish. Yeah, that's everybody's objective. Let's go back out on the water with our Garmin team spotter and take a look at Gypsy. They're our tournament leader now as far as the event goes. Again, we join all these events around the country and around the world for that matter, and we kind of build into their rules. Well, we have a catch and release except for 3 different categories. Our championship fish, the wahoo, the mahi-mahi, and the invincible yellowfin tuna. I almost said invincible.
That's right.
I have a hard time saying invincible.
And Robbie, that invincible tuna, I'll tell you what, is a 206-pounder. That was just in time. That was a big, big fish. So that's leading the standings right now for the invincible yellowfin tuna division.
But these guys have two tunas already on board, and we're taking a look at them now in their fishing day on day 1. They're trying to win this tournament, whether it's billfish or those tuna.
That's right. That's Bert Fernella, Taylor Sanford, and owner Jerry McGraw.
Jerry McGraw with the belt on now, ready to reel in their first tuna of the day.
Good. I got color here. Get a gap. Huh? Lift and reel down good. Go up, pump it a little. There you go. Keep doing that. Crank. There you go. First one of the canyon season, boys. Good job. Get them back out. Good one, Jerry. How's it going? My name's Taylor Sanford, captain of the Gypsy. Fishing day 1 of the offshore showdown. We started off the yellowfin early, and it's been quite slow since. We got an update on our charts. Saw that there's a little better altimetry up inshore, so that's the plan now, is push inshore and keep looking.
Talking about the canyon season or whatever, the fish work their way up from the south up to the north using that Gulf Stream. Like people think of the the airstream, when you're in a plane, it's easier to fly west to east. Well, the water is actually moving up the coast, unlike the rivers in the U.S. where they work down.
That's right, and a lot of fish will get caught in that flow and roll up with it, or they swim against it. As far as I know, when we're down in South Florida, those fish are moving against the current. They want to feed into the current. They want the bait washing up to them as they cruise down and eat and pluck them off.
Seeing some of the different things there. Those are some of the birds. You see the little arms out to the side, or a few of them that would cause a little bit more disturbance in the water.
They shimmy, they skitter.
Good chemistry is another one of our teams to look for. They finished strong last year, and it's a family affair with this boat as well. A young 14-year-old on board, but again, they caught one on day number 1. They caught them last year too, Peter. This is a team to watch.
Well, you see on the board there, they have every lure possible, and these are some of the lures you put over the top of ballyhoo. Some of them are straight up lures with a J hook that they're going to be trolling, and they have a little bit of everything. And you got your leaders perfectly organized, with rubber bands, hold them in place, and of course you've got your birds there. And there's always going to be something in front of the birds and something behind the birds, kind of making it look like the birds are chasing something. Right there, you've got what's called a green machine at the end of that bird chain. And then, of course, the infamous dredge, fish razor, squid dredge. I mean, that's a lot of squid right there. That's a calamari eater's dream. We got the green and the red. You never know what they're going to come up on.
And it's supposed to look like or imitate bait fish. And Debtosh Chakrabarty, is that right? Chakrabarty, yeah. I knew I'd have to do it one day. There's Asha. I'm trying to win the women's division. She's 14 years old and did well last year. She already caught one, or we'll see her in just a moment with one on board. But we've seen that. We've seen what, as young as 12, I think, is our youngest competitor.
Tucker.
Tucker Wade. So it doesn't have to be the 50, 60-year-old man that's out there. You can have a 14-year-old Asha bringing them in, and you can see, and you've mentioned it, the ladies oftentimes have better form than the guys when they're reeling them.
Well, they're not too proud to listen to somebody giving them advice. That's what I love about fishing with women. They will take your advice, say, okay, well, he's got a point there, or she's got a point there. Let's go with that. But a guy a lot of times will be like, I've been fishing my whole life. Don't tell me what to do. I got it down, and I know what to do. But she's got the harness on. She's got the bucket seat harness, and she's squatting this fish in, and she's got her headset on. She's being talked to, coached. You always want a coach telling you what's up, but she's got a fish close to the boat there.
As two captains mentioned on their sheet, John Pfeiffer, Darren Doris. They finished in the top 5 last year. I think they finished 3rd. They actually had white marlin as well as tuna. We've still yet to see our first billfish or white marlin. Hopefully today will be the day. That's a young lady that's having to put everything in just to keep that tuna. The tuna's strong, and they're fast.
That's right, and she's staying low. I like to see that because, you get a big fish on the side of the boat. You don't want to be standing upright right in the corner where your feet come out from under you like we saw in the DR. That was a little different, but this is what you want. Nice little tuna coming in the boat, and she succeeded.
Excellent Good job Asha Chakrabarty.
How was that?
Good.
You a little tired?
A little. Give me 5. Good job. I'll get the bag in a minute.
Rock and roll. I like it.
Solid run by her. I'd be wore out too. I mean, my back's tired watching her reel that fish in. Again, this championship is stop number 7 of 11 of our events, but inside this event in particular, we have not seen billfish being caught, but we are seeing some tuna. And for the South Jersey Yacht Sales Offshore Showdown, Gypsy in the lead with not 1, but 2 yellowfin tuna.
That's right. You could tell the way she was kind of tuckered out. You could see that, basically she was returning a punt for 100 yards. That's what just happened. And then the camera goes in your face and you say, give me a second. I need to breathe. Give me 1 second.
Top 5 as it stands right now, but you see a lot of sea life out there, and that's always a good thing, Peter.
That's right. When you see the sea life, you see the porpoise, you see the, any bird life, you see bait, you're going to have a lot of fish around that area, usually on the outer boundaries of those fish.
Billfish Championship points as it stands right now. This is overall quantified. It's also the same the way that we would see the Gulf Division. The quantified has about a 2,000 point advantage over Moncherie, Southern Charm. These are all Gulf teams. Now, we will crown a champion in the Gulf as well as the Atlantic. We are in the Atlantic Division right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a quantified or Moncherie or a Southern Charm hop into these next couple of events, because the catch points you see there on the left, they add up from each and every stop. So again, that's going to be huge. Quantified, they're on top for one reason. They are very consistent, they are very strong, and they have 2 victories in the season.
And what's great about this team Quantified is they are always catching a variety of fish. We always say variety is the spice of life, and these guys are doing exactly that. Sailfish, white marlin, and blue marlin. They just keep adding to their catch, adding. And at the end of the day, that's the kind of day where you don't even remember how many fish you caught. Lucky your captain is up top calling them in, getting the numbers, getting the release numbers, and then they can tell, hey guys, we caught 12 today.
This was back at Orange Beach, Alabama. It's stop number 4. And Quantified, you talk about forgetting how many fish you caught. That's because you can catch so many. I mean, they caught well more than anyone else. I mean, you saw 2 blue marlin being caught by other teams. Quantified caught 1 blue, seven sailfish and 1 white. That was massive. That was 9 against everybody else. As they caught doubles, that was solid.
That's right. That's the kind of fishery that you see in other countries at times. You know,
Yeah.
when you go to the Dominican Republic, you may see, 20 fish in a certain day, but you catch 11. These guys caught 12 fish in this tournament, which makes this area just seem so incredibly productive. Look at the size of that blue marlin they had on right there. Wow.
Beast. And the East Coast Blue Marlin Classic, it was a solid event for them, an unbelievable event for them. They did something that was special. First thing was they caught the first blue marlin. That's it right there. They get an extra 100 points. I know you were trying to give the teams an extra 50 this morning.
It is Saturday.
Maybe we do that. Maybe if they don't catch it until Saturday, we give them an extra 50. But we had our first team that actually caught the first blue marlin win the tournament. But Quantified comes out, catches 2 blues, 7 whites, and 3 sails. They got the triple-double of the Grand Slam.
That's right. You could see their bubble. It's funny you said triple-double because that was a bubble trail from their boat that they came by. They hooked up, and then they wound up having to spin back and reverse through that bubble trail. These guys are on fire, and I love whatever they're doing. I need to find out. I think we're going to maybe meet them.
Yeah.
Are we going to meet them coming up soon?
We will in Puerto Rico for sure, hopefully, as they try and win that $1 million prize. Again, they're trying to win the $100,000 for winning the Gulf. The Atlantic will pay another $100,000, but a $1 million prize for the overall sport fishing champion.
So what you're saying, there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. 1.3 some on, $1.35 million.
That's right. That's with a champion fish mixed in.
Who's to say they're not going to do that too, the way they're going right now? Now, qualified catches, we haven't really talked about that much this show. It's whenever they get control of that leader, leaders that are required length, and whether it be a small fish or a big fish, either way, the points count the same for these guys.
That's right. And that white marlin there is on fire, and that's what's so much fun about them. They're not too big, they're manageable, and you can leader those fish quickly. He's on the leader, and the fish pops off and swims away. The hook rusts out.
Quantified on top of the Sport Fishing Championship with a few rounds to go. We we take their 3 best scores. It's not like we drop any of them, but we are looking, now they're looking to drop that first event of the season. 7th is their worst finish. 3,500 points you get for an event win, and they are near perfect this year so far.
That's an impressive performance. Our captain always used to tell us, you know what, Peter, if we can be at the top of the 1, 2, or 3 every day in the tournament, we're going to win this entire thing, and it looks exactly like what they're doing. 12,850 points.
But there's other teams just behind. Breathe Easy, Southern Charm. If they get a win at the final stop in the Gulf at South Padre Island, they're going to be right there in the thick of it. Because again, to get the win, you have to get those catch points. We'll talk more about it at the top of the hour, 9 a.m. on CBS Sports Network. We hope you join us. On behalf of Peter, I'm Robbie. Thanks for watching the Sport Fishing Championship on sportfishingchampionship.com.
Whether you like to ride the wind, find your secret cove, or reel them in. Plot your paradise with GPS Map Series from Garmin.
Remember, everything begins in the morning. Every story told is a fisherman's tale. We build watches tough enough to be a part of that tale. The perfect balance of beauty and brawn. We are Seaholm. Watches that last a lifetime. Seaholm Automatic, the official timepiece of the Sport Fishing Championship.
Sport fishing anglers from around the world competing for $1 million. The Sport Fishing Championship on CBS Sports Network.
See it, live it, love it. The largest in-water boat show in the world, the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. More than 3 million square feet, fishing boats to super yachts, engines, accessories, learning experiences, and culinary delights. Save the dates, October 26th through 30th. Details at flibs.com.
It all comes back to the water. This binding agent. This fluid history of connection. Past, present, and future, all tied together through this never-ending, unwavering force. We belong to a community of seekers, anglers, and everyone in between. For us, it's more than fishing, much more. It's who we are, who we were, and who we aspire to be. We are Smith.